Hey, everybody. Listen, it's Thursday. It's trending topics. It's a little late, but you know what? Trending topics, the train is still pulling out the building. This train is still pulling out the building. You know, tonight's trending topics title is called Tragedy and Truth. Tragedy and Truth. It's a tragedy. 10-year-old got hit by a car, lost his life. But prior to him losing his life, his mother had already lost her life. And his father, his only parent, was dealing with cancer. And unfortunately, his life was lost, hit by a car. We're going to talk about it. And then this story is so tragic. I can't even imagine that it happened. A 14-year-old girl was getting plastic surgery. You heard me, plastic surgery done by her mother's boyfriend. The mother allowed her daughter to be used as a guinea pig. 14-year-old girl dies because her mother boyfriend performs a breast augmentation and a BBL on a 14-year-old. That mother needs to be locked up underneath the jail along with her boyfriend. And the father had no idea because they lied on the death certificate. And then when he seen his daughter at the funeral home, he was like, what the heck? A 14-year-old, a BBL, and breast implants. What kind of mother is that? And what was he going to do to her daughter after he put all of this in her body? Some people are disgraced as parents, and she definitely is one. And then the last story, I see you out there. Hi, everybody. Hit that like button. You know, this last story is truth. You know, sometimes we see all these stories where the cops just lose their mind and wild out. But there's some cops out there that can be kind. Because wait till you see this video when this cop pulled over this girl and it was nothing but kindness and understanding. I wish they extended that to everybody they pulled over. But I guess that's another story for another day. Listen, because the train is pulling out late. I ain't going to mess around. I ain't going to have a long monologue. I ain't going to talk long. We're going to get right into it. Okay. Yeah, the mother and the boyfriend and everybody in that operating room. You ain't lying, Diane, on that. Everybody needs to go down. It's a darn shame. See you out there. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Diane. Thank you, Julius, for being here, being the mod. But y'all know what I need in the chat. Thank you, Diane. I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called Tragedy and Truth. A 10-year-old killed. So sad. Excuse me. We got a teen who dies after plastic surgery. That mother need to be up underneath the jail. And we got a cop act of kindness, okay? So we're going to go ahead and bring the people on in the building. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Julius. Hey, 48.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button.
Hit the like
button. Your best behavior in the chat, please and thank you.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Hey, Katrina. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just get right into the stories. Let's start with this 10-year-old. So sad, so tragic. May he rest in peace. Let me go ahead and share screen. I think this is it.
Corday Brown, a large crowd gathered near Golden State Boulevard, where he was hit and killed in Southwest Fresno on Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us this evening for Action News Live at 10. I'm Warren Armstrong.
And I'm Margot Kim. We're live on ABC 30, Hulu Live, and wherever you stream. Action News reporter Kate Nemerich spoke with Corday's coach and family friend about the young athlete who is greatly missed.
He was always the same, the outgoing kid to keep everybody going and just having fun. Corday was a fun boy. He was a fun boy, and I'm gonna miss him.
In 10-year-old Corday Brown's short life, he faced a lot of challenges. He was raised by a single father. After his mother died, his father is now battling cancer and will need to bury his young son. But for those who know Corday, like Raymond Mayberry, he says the trials never dulled Corday's spirit.
He has been through a lot, and it didn't define who he was. He was still a good kid. He wasn't in trouble, and just a humble kid, just a good kid. That's all I can say. He's a good kid, good athlete.
Mayberry met Corday when he was just 5 years old and joined the Fresno Miners nonprofit youth football organization.
He was one of my players that a lot of the boys looked up to on the level that he played on, and under him and over him. He was just like the center of attention most of the time.
Corday's life was cut short on Sunday when he was hit by a car on Golden State Boulevard in southwest Fresno in a no-crossing zone. Police say the driver remained at the scene and cooperated. They don't believe alcohol played a role in the crash. The California Highway Patrol is leading the investigation and did not have an update on Monday. Mayberry says Corday lived in the area and was crossing the road with his brother and some friends. Mayberry is now helping the families and kids who knew Corday work through the pain of his death.
Being a firm believer in God, there's only one thing I can tell these babies today, and that's that the Lord took him home. It was his time, and he's in a better place. And, I just from me to the parents, just, love your kids and just teach them that this is part of life.
Kate Nemrich, ABC 30 Action News.
So sad. I feel for the brother too that was with him and anybody else that was with him at the time. Unfortunately, it was a no crossing zone. It's just very sad. And the driver didn't go away. He stayed. So 10-year-old boy killed in southwest Fresno crash identified. Fresno, California. We now know the name of the 10-year-old boy hit and killed by a car in southwest Fresno. The Fresno County Sheriff's Office, as well as family friends, confirmed he is Corday Brown. He was always the same, the outgoing kid to keep everybody going and just having fun, said Raymond Mayberry with Fresno Miners nonprofit youth football. Corday was a fun boy. He was a fun boy, and I'm going to miss him. The 10-year-old Corday Brown short life, he faced a lot of challenges. He was raised by a single father after his mother died, giving birth to him. His father is now battling cancer and will need to bury his young son. For those who knew Corday, like Mayberry, he said the trials the trials never dulled Cordell's spirit. He has been through a lot, and it didn't define who he was. He was still a good kid. He wasn't in trouble, said Mayberry. Just a good kid. That's all I can say. He said Corday has been through a lot, and it didn't define who he was. Mayberry met Corday when he was just 5 years old and joined the Fresno Miners nonprofit youth football organization. He was one of my many players that a lot of boys looked up to on that level, that he played on and under him and over him, said Mayberry. He was just like the center of attention most of the time. Corday's life was cut short on Sunday when he was hit by a car on Golden State Boulevard in southwest Fresno in a no crossing zone. Police said the driver remained at the scene and cooperated. They don't believe alcohol played a role in the crash. The California Highway Patrol is leading the investigation and did not have an update on Monday. Mayberry said Corday lived in the area and was crossing the road with his brother and some friends. Mayberry is now helping the family and kids who knew Corday work through the pain of his death. Being a firm believer in God, there's only one thing I could tell these babies today, and I said the Lord took him home, said Mayberry. It was his time. He's in a better place. Mayberry ordered memorial decals for all the players in the league to wear on their helmets, so Corday will be on the field with them every day. A vigil will be held near the scene of the crash on Monday at 6 p.m. May he rest in peace. Sad story. Wayne, your thoughts?
I felt bad that the coach or the guy was saying what he had to say. He would tell the young people, that it was his time. I know it had to hurt him to say, to tell them that. Because
Mhm.
what kid is that age understands that it's his time, it's
Right.
your time, and to tell him that he was in a better place. At these kids' age, where's a better place?
Mm.
So I know they had to hurt him to have to say that, so the kids would have something to hold on to, because they wouldn't understand, because then he said, the parents should teach, to teach the children about how to accept this. But that's really hard to do with, especially a young man like this, cut down in his prime, and also the person that hit him.
Mm.
This person's going to suffer the rest of their life.
Mm.
There was nothing. This wasn't like somebody acting in aggression or due to substance or whatever. It was just something. It happened, but still, you have to live with it that you did it, even though it may not have been your fault. But you have to live with that you did it.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody that could be like, well, their fault. Don't blame me. I'm sure that stuff is going to stay with them. So, rest in peace. God bless them all.
Yeah, God bless. Julius, your thoughts?
My heart goes out to this young man's father, which, if I understand, I heard right, he's currently battling cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I am praying for, my heart goes out to him. Because having to bury your child and you're going through something like that, that can destroy his will of wanting to live.
Mm.
And that driver is gonna be haunted. It is good that he stayed on the scene. But he is going to be haunted with the fact that I caused this unaliving to happen. And I know the coach had to put aside his own grief and hurt to be strong for his players. Because the kids were probably devastated at the loss of their friend and teammate. And so he just it it hurt him. I know it did to say those words.
Mm.
But he thought he was just trying to ease their minds. That it's he's okay. He's with our Savior. He's in a better place. But the kids are not going to understand that because their friend just died. And I hope that their families are giving them love, care, and support because they're not going to understand. That's it.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, hey panel, hey chat. Um, Condolences to this man. I don't know what he's going through, but I feel what he's going through. And sometimes when your light is so bright on earth, God have to take you away because you shine so much better in heaven. Maybe that's the reason why he can get a prayer through, or a prayer through, or anything for his father. Sometimes you have to leave this earth to become somebody guardian angel to protect them. Maybe that's what his job. You know what I mean? And the guy that hit him, I feel for him as well because that's gonna haunt you for a while. I mean, nobody wants to go out and unalive a child, especially when they wasn't paying attention to what they were supposed to be doing anyway. But I just hope the father gets some peace. I hope he gets some peace. I hope he fight this cancer thing and come out better on the other side. Um, it's sad all the way around. It's sad all the way around. But I hope those kids' hearts are lightened. I hope they, push forward, seeing what his teammate was doing for them, was trying to help them. Um, all I can say is rest in heaven, honey. That's all I got.
Thank you. 48, your thoughts?
Hey Diva panel chat. Okay, first of all, rest in peace, Cordell, and my condolences to his father and the rest of his family. It's definitely a sad story, but the only thing that I have, Diva, and I'm not trying to like shake the train or anything like that, but when you showed the picture, how did the person driving the car couldn't see the kids crossing? If
Yeah.
they said they were crossing, they weren't in a crosswalk. The crosswalks that are shown in the picture are visible crosswalks in either direction. So the ones that they were crossing in, it was going up and down. So how did the driver not see them? I just feel like I'm in Houston, I'm in a big city too, and I do notice that people speed up. Just like a few months ago, a police officer hit a woman like not too far from the street, killed her, unalived her in front of her kids. She was getting off work, they were going home, and he hit her. And people speed up their cars. I just my heart and my condolences go out to that family, but it doesn't seem like an accident from what I'm looking at. Was he speeding? Like, what was it that if there are kids crossing, you don't see them as you're approaching? You as a driver, even if they are jaywalking, you have the duty to let them cross. You let the pedestrians cross, even if they are in the wrong. It's the law. But yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's super sad. This story is sad because the mother died giving birth. So he never even knew his mother. The dad is single dad, and then the dad, it was a do not cross sign. That is true. It was a do not cross sign. Um, but the mom died giving birth. The dad is battling cancer. Then the brother is with him and saw his brother get hit. This is just tragic. And I hate to say this, but sometimes, if you think you're going through something in life, somebody out there that would be praying for your life, because there's some tragic stuff going on. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Just condolences to the family because they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
It's sad because we losing way too many kids way too soon.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Thank you for that. Yeah, condolences all the way around. On the people be on their phone. It's just a lot going on now. I'm gonna go ahead and roll into this next story, which I just thought was just super sad. This mother should be locked up for life. I don't. When I read this, I had to keep looking and reading and looking and reading because I'm just like this. This can't be so. So, girl 14 dies after breast surgery, butt lift, without her dad's knowledge. Mom, plastic surgeon bro pro because he's the one that did the procedure. Let me just pause that. A 14-year-old girl died just days after she had a boob job in a butt lift without her father's knowledge, with her mom's plastic surgeon boyfriend now under investigation for possible negligent homicide, according to reports. Paloma Nicole, I'm not going to mess up her two last names, died Saturday in a hospital in Durango, Mexico, after being in a coma with a swollen brain and heart problems following the secret surgery a week earlier, according to the local newspaper. The young teen's dad, Carlos, was told she had died from complications from COVID-19, only finding out that she actually had plastic surgery when saying his final goodbyes. At the funeral, some relatives told me her breasts were larger than what she had before. And when I mentioned it to her mother, she told me it wasn't true, that she didn't know anything. The grieving dad told prosecutors, according to the news out there. He got his ex family to leave the room. He got his ex family to leave the room so the mother, sister, and sister-in-law could help him examine his daughter's body. Sure enough, she had breast implants. We have photographs of the implants and the scars. We immediately requested an autopsy, he said in the complaint. And that is the surgeon, and I don't know why they're covering his face. It's messed up. So Lano said his ex-wife had agreed to the surgery, which was carried out by her current partner, a 45-year-old plastic surgeon only identified as Victor N., who owned the practice. He accuses ex and her new man of lying to him in a cover-up, directly blaming them for his daughter's death. While Mexico does not have specific age limits for plastic surgery, they are typically only given to those under 18 with both parents' permissions. Look at this beautiful girl. This makes no sense that this mother even allowed somebody to touch her for some plastic surgery. This girl is gorgeous. It's a shame she's no longer here. May she rest in peace. And they don't have an age limit, but I still feel this mother should be locked up. We are investigating a probable lack of care on the part of the mother for placing a minor who was under her care in custody in risky situations, said Yadira De La Garzo. I ain't going to mess up her name, the attorney for the dad. The surgeon has had his license suspended and is being investigated for malpractice and potentially more serious crimes depending on the final autopsy, which could take up to 10 days or more, the prosecutor said. There could be a crime of negligent homicide and probably medical professional liability, the attorney general said. The dead girl's dad has since launched a campaign warning of the dangers of such surgery, with a march organized for Friday under the slogan, "Girls Don't Need Implants," according to AZ Central. We cannot continue to normalize the sexualization of girls or allow the ambition of some adults to put their lives at risk. We demand justice, and this crime does not go unpunished, the dad posted on his Instagram account. Girls deserve to grow up free, safe, and respected. This girl, gorgeous. Why would this mother do this to her? This is a darn shame. And the mother and that surgeon need to be locked up. Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, as I think they have planned to groom her for trafficking. Why would a parent want a child to skip innocence and go straight to puberty? That's the only thing I would think. Setting that child up at 14. Look how innocent and young that girl. That child wouldn't even look right with those kind of procedures done. First of all, you could see that already, slim in nature.
Yes.
I mean, and he probably did that because he knew no other doctor would have touched that. No, I think they was making and molding her for something not good, with the mother and the boyfriend in on it. And that's sad. I mean, that's just chilling that somebody would even think about doing that at an age like that. Why? This child wouldn't even have experienced being a teenager. She wouldn't have been able to experience any of that. They're trying to push her from 14 to 24. It's ridiculous.
Very sad. Julius, your thoughts?
When God comes in and works, we ain't gonna like his decisions sometime. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. He called this father has grief because his baby girl died. Who, might I add, by those pictures of them together, is his twin. She looked just like her daddy. Beautiful. In her first communion dress. I feel her egg donor and her boy toy need to be clinked up and put behind bars. And I think the mother excuse me, egg donor, that's what we gonna call her, was mad that her daughter is the spitting image of her father. She is beautiful, but she is her daddy's twin. Now back to the where we ain't always gonna like God's decision. It ties in, I promise. He seen everything that was gonna be done to this child ahead of time. And unfortunately he had to take tragic, drastic action to protect her. The first part of it was already done with the surgery. But unfortunately, she went on to be with him. But I can tell you this, and I want to say this next part, I'm on the same train with Mr. Wayne. She was going to be put into human trafficking because she was having two procedures done at once. I think the article said two to prepare her for trafficking. I feel that within my spirit. And I hope them two demons are put away.
Thanks. In my opinion, your thoughts?
This is where these people need to stop looking at social media as the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these moms are living vicariously through their children, and they think the big booty and the big boobs is in. Now, take it from somebody who was blessed with them, okay? That gives you back pain and problems that you don't even want, okay? I'm ready to get rid of mine, okay? I'm offering to anybody that want them. This baby was way too young to have any procedure done, first of all.
Yeah.
And the mere fact that the mama lied to the dad lets me know what kind of calculating, low down, you know what she is.
Facts.
You and this man are the grown adults, and y'all sit here and think it's okay to put some boobs and a butt lift on a 14-year-old. Where is she going? Her only thing should be thinking about going to school, getting a good education, and getting to prom. And instead, they was putting it in her mind that she needed boobs and a butt. What was that gonna get her? Absolutely nothing. But this is what happens when we let social media and everybody else run our kids' lives instead of actually teaching them. And if you listen to these horror stories, these stars that have had this stuff done are coming out and saying the stuff that they're going through now from having these procedures done. It's very, very dangerous to have these surgeries in the first place. It's dangerous to have any surgery. But then to have foreign objects put in your body and then you put it in a kid, this is disgusting on all counts. I want this lady up under the jail cell. I don't want her to see the light of day. I don't want her to see nothing. I don't want her to hear nothing, and I don't want her to breathe nothing. And she could take her raggedy boyfriend with her too.
That part. Oh my God. Thank you, in my opinion. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay. First of all, why are you putting this stuff in this child? This child body is still developing. It's not even developed yet.
Mm.
She got to grow up. Well, well, you know what I mean. She was her body was not mature enough to have no implants and or a butt lift put on. And as Wayne said, what were they doing? What they are doing with from Jackie Christie, a builder whore, building her up to be a whore. This is ridiculous. And I'm so sorry, young lady. I didn't mean to say that about your name, but I'm just saying the facts that we're looking at. Because nobody in their right mind will give your child implants in a butt lift, which is one of the dangerous things there is because it always hit a vein and they can have a blood clot to go to their lungs, head, or brain. I mean, brain or lungs or heart. And for you to do this, and the doctor did this, I just don't understand. They want money on top of money because people have backed out from the surgery because they can't afford them no more because the inflation of buying food. But if you doing this to a 14-year-old, imagine what he would do to somebody else. This is ridiculous. This is sad on all levels. I just don't understand these parents anymore. And as in my opinion, say yes, all of them looking at the internet models and all that, and they flashing saying they got this and got that when they stealing the stuff from the store or conning somebody out their money. So it's not an easy life, and they be showing these kids that it is. It's not an easy life. And for one time, I wish everybody would just put down their social media. You can't go to a restaurant, somebody looking on their phone. You can't go to a movie, somebody looking on their phone. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is totally sad on all levels. Rest in peace to this girl. I hope you got peace now, and I hope the dad gets some resolution because mama need to get the Mario coins knocked out of her head because this don't make no sense. That's all I got.
48, your thoughts?
Yep, I totally agree with what everybody before me said. It just seems suspicious. It's like, why would you give that to a kid? It looks like you were preparing to pimp her out, and she need to be locked up. Hey, Tay Tay. But yeah, Diva, that's it.
Yeah. Hi, Tay Tay, your thoughts?
Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
I say shame on the mama and her boyfriend. First of all, sir, the boyfriend I'm talking about, you ain't her daddy, you ain't her pappy, you ain't her bossy father. No. You just a boyfriend. That's what you is. Okay? And first of all, my condolences to the dad who lost his daughter of 14 years old. Why? Because the mama didn't like her daughter, how she look like her dad. Look at here, lady. That baby was beautiful. That was natural. She was born with it. God gave her that body right there. And you don't like it, you should have went to jail. You and your no good boyfriend. That's all I gotta say about that, Diva.
I appreciate
Well,
you.
Tay Tay is in the building. Okay,
Hey,
Tay
Tay
Tay.
Tay.
Hey,
Listen,
Tay.
If Sound Off was a person, it's Tay Tay.
so, this is tragic on so many levels. And the fact that, she had a loving father in her life that cared about her, and the father had to find out at the funeral that her body was violated and she didn't die of COVID. She died because of this surgery. And how did they get a medical examiner to lie on the report? I don't know. This is just so sad. So imagine being at a funeral and you have to get the family out the room, undress your daughter to find out that, yes, there are scars, and you had to take pictures of her body, while she's unalive at this funeral, to prove and get somebody to look into the fact that she had these breast implants, these butt implants, and that was probably the cause of her no longer being here. Some of these mothers, when they are no longer with the person that they fathered the child with, and they get with someone else, they get with these men, and these men don't give a crap about them, and you think they're going to give a crap about your child? As a mother, to allow anybody to do this to their child is sickening. And I just wonder if that boyfriend was doing something to the daughter even prior to this happening. And he is the one that suggested that this girl, that they do these implants and these butt implants on this beautiful girl. My heart is broken for her. May she rest in peace. The worst thing that can happen for a child is to grow up with a parent who just doesn't give a crap, like this particular parent didn't. That mother didn't care. She had a loving father from everything that it appears to be, and then she had this mother. And the mother was playing games because she lied to the father. And when he straight out asked her about this surgery and these implants, She was like, no, what are you talking about? So she was going to let this girl be buried and die with that secret. I hope she doesn't have any other children. And if she does, whoever the father is of those children, the children need to be taken away from her. And how do you have a place where there's no age limit on when you can have plastic surgery? Is crazy to me. And that's probably why the mother's not arrested. But she should be arrested because they said you do need the consent of both of your parents. Let me just throw in an update here. I will research it a little bit more before I go to the next story. There's more pieces to this darn David, that singer, and the young lady Celeste. So now they're claiming that allegedly he paid her parents $10,000 a month to approve their relationship. I don't know if y'all remember that at one time they had the missing flyer up and then they took the missing flyer down. And the parents aren't saying much. Oh, I think she had a boyfriend. I think his name was David. So these parents are no different if this is true, that they was getting $10K a month. They pimped their little daughter out and now she's gone. And they're backing up to saying that as early as 10 years old, she started having a conversation with this David. This is beyond sad too. That's another just tragic, sad story. I'll stay connected to it. But the thing I'm just waiting for is, when are they going to bring somebody in for questioning? It's just guilt written all around this. And if they have any wire transfers or physical proof of him giving the parents money, I want the parents locked up. I want him locked up. And I want them to move on this case. This is tragic and this is sad. But we talked about it over here a lot. People will do anything for money, and it's crazy. And that's why I told y'all, don't have no shame about where you live, what you got in your apartment, don't have in your apartment or your house or whatever. If it's all honest living and honest earning, be proud of yourself. I'm trying to find a picture for y'all. I promise you with everything I love, for years, not a year, for years, my dining room and living room was empty. Not a stitch of furniture. Years. Don't let nobody try to shame you. Don't shame yourself. It'll come when it comes, and you will get it when you get it. But when you pimping out your kids over some money, your integrity is all the way in the gutter. Let me roll into this next story. I mean, that update is sad, but it's just, I know it had to be more to this story. Who doesn't care that their daughter is missing? Let me share this last screen. This is a cop who pulled over a young lady. This proves to you the cops can be nice when they want to. Mom was pulled over by police for speeding. She says the traffic stop saved my life. Driver Caitlin Ricchini credited as sheriff's deputy for helping turn her life around and following a traffic stop earlier this year. Let's take a look.
Humanity captured on one deputy's body camera. One woman says the act of kindness changed her life.
Give me a hug? Yeah. Come here.
Channel 9's Cabarrus County reporter Hannah Getz heard about this story months ago and pushed the courts to release the video. And tonight, we finally get to share it with you.
From the lens of Cabarrus County Deputy Sean Singleton's body camera, this view is nothing out of the ordinary. A standard traffic stop.
Where's the stop to? 61 and a 45.
But in his line of work, it's also not out of the ordinary to have an interaction like this.
You wouldn't put your lights on until after I slowed down.
Right.
I was going the speed limit.
No, but I clocked you at 61 and a 45. I didn't stop you there. What's with the attitude? Just curious.
Caitlin Ricchini says she was heading home from church when she got pulled over that Sunday.
And I meet him with absolute attitude. Just absolute attitude. We're not allowed to have bad days.
No, everybody's entitled to a bad day.
So
I understand that. Like I said,
pulled over on a day is not fun.
I can understand that completely. Okay. But like, I'm trying to be nice and courteous to you, and like I'm getting a lot of heat. I could tell immediately that it was not the best of encounters. She was very aggravated.
I come from a background where I don't do cops. I can't stand cops.
Keeping his composure, Singleton ran her license and decided, despite the heated interaction, to let her off with a warning.
I understand you're having a day, so I'm not trying to make it any worse. This is a warning ticket for you to slow down. That's it. No court date, no fines, no nothing. I'll ask you to pay attention to the speed limit signs, get to where you're getting to safely.
In that moment, something changed.
I could tell something was going on, I just asked a question, and sometimes it elicits an answer that you expect, and sometimes it elicits an answer that you don't expect. Are you good?
No.
No?
Anxiety is killing me.
Okay.
I come from a background. I'm clean and sober now, so I don't I've always had bad incidents with cops. So
Deputy Singleton offering words of encouragement, having no idea what Caitlin was going through until this moment.
Is there anything I can do for you? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need help with anything at all? Do you need a hug?
Yeah.
Come here. Here.
I moved out here to get away from an abusive relationship, and I'm clean and I'm sober for 4 months.
Caitlin revealed she was in a fight for her life in sobriety. Battling years of addiction and abuse, she had just moved to North Carolina, leaving her 5-year-old son in Maryland so she could get clean and get him back.
Yeah, I've never hugged a cop before. I've always been put in handcuffs by them.
Singleton had no idea his humanity and kindness that day changed Caitlin's life and possibly saved it.
I told him, I was like, I'm ready to give up. I was actually on my way to probably do something that wasn't in my best interest.
Take a deep breath, all right? Everything's gonna be okay. Okay? You're on the right path. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing now, okay? All right? Don't lose that hope.
That traffic stop happened back in March.
And I left my family and I left my son.
Now, 6 months later,
this is one of the guys that helped save my life.
Caitlin's celebrating 10 months clean.
Can you say hi?
Doing good?
Can you say it's nice to meet you?
And introducing her son Isaiah to the deputy who gave her the strength to get him back.
It's good to see you again.
Cool.
How you been?
Well, don't lose that fight that's in you. Okay? Because there's something in you that's driving you to a better life, right?
Yeah.
All right? Okay. Don't lose that. Hang on to it.
He saw me as a person and not an addict. And he saw my heart. And he saw that I had potential when so many people had counted me out. It's like in a time of desperation, really, like where I was like questioning, like, God, where are you? And he sent me in. It's like an angel. I don't know. I really pray that Jesus blesses you for your kindness, sir.
I'm going to pray for you too.
Thank you.
In Cabarrus County.
You have no idea how much this means to me.
Hannah Getz, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
We see so many body cam videos that are the complete opposite of that. So that is just so refreshing. And he really made a big difference for her.
Divine intervention. Did someone put him there? And when people talk, if they were just like this and just a question of, are you okay? Flipped it all around.
Everything.
Yeah, just changed it around.
She says she will now be 1 year sober coming up this November. And she invited the deputy to come celebrate with her.
And as you saw there, she lives with her son again, which is great, has a full-time job. So congratulations to both of them for a job well done.
All right, that's the best I could come to, like a feel-good story. So what began as a tense exchange between a sheriff's deputy and a motorist during a routine traffic stop in North Carolina turned into a big hug and a life-changing moment. The Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office shared body cam footage of Deputy Sean Singleton pulling over driver Caitlin. In March, ABC affiliate and NBC affiliate reported at the time Caitlin was going home after attending church. In the clip, Singleton and Caitlin, I stopped you at 61 and a 45, to which Caitlin responded, you didn't put your lights on until after I slowed down. I was going the speed limit. No, but I clocked you at 61 and a 45. I didn't stop you there. Singleton said, so what's with the attitude? Just curious. Caitlin asked the deputy, according to the footage, I'm not allowed to have bad days. No, everybody is entitled to a bad day, Singleton responded. I can understand that completely, but I'm trying to be nice and courteous to you, and I'm getting a lot of heat. Caitlin proceeded to tell the deputy that she can't stand cops, saying, I come from a background where I don't do cops. After running Caitlin's license, Singleton was seen returning to the driver and letting her off. This is a warning ticket for you to slow down, he said in the video. That's it. No court date, no fines, no nothing. I ask you to pay attention to speed limit signs. When Singleton asked Caitlin if she was okay, she said, no, the anxiety is killing me. I come from a background. I'm clean and sober now, but I've always had bad incidents with cops. Singleton then asked the crying Caitlin if there was anything he could do, adding, do you want a hug? To which she replied, yeah. The two then embraced, and Caitlin explained to Singleton that she had just moved to North Carolina to get away from an abusive relationship. She left her 5-year-old son behind so that she could get clean and get him back. I never hugged a cop before, Caitlin said in the footage. Don't lose that fight that's in you, Singleton encouraged her. Caitlin, who is now 10 months clean, told the news that she told Singleton she had been ready to give up when she was pulled over that day. I was actually on my way to probably do something that wasn't in my best interest, she said. She recently reunited with Singleton and introduced the deputy to her son. Look, this is one of the guys that saved my life, she said. Caitlin later told the news that Singleton saw her as a person and not an addict. He saw my heart, she said, and he saw that I had potential when so many people counted me out. The sheriff shared a Thursday, September 18th Facebook post about the news report on the Heartwarming exchange, writing, sometimes a traffic stop isn't just about enforcing laws, it's about kindness that changes lives. Recently, Deputy Sean Singleton had a moment with a mother recovering from a difficult time. What might have seemed like just another interaction turned into something she says changed her perspective on law enforcement, the department shared. Moments like these remind us that being a deputy also means showing humility, building trust, and breaking down barriers to strengthen our relationship with the community through positive interactions that can truly make a difference, the statement read. Singleton declined to comment when people contacted the sheriff's office. Caitlin did not immediately respond to people's requests for additional comment. I thought it was a great, heartfelt story. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw that one too. That's the kind of video they need to put in all the cops training. Yeah, he need to be a poster child, not child, but poster cop.
Right.
You know, just treating people like you would want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a real good feel good story, because it kind of put my faith back in law enforcement. You know, because I kind of felt like her. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Julius, your thoughts?
Okay, I'm off mute now. I loved how, honestly, I'm going to reword my commentary. This is God intervention right here, in the good way.
Mm-hmm.
And she said in the article, I was going to do something that I was probably going to regret to myself because I wanted to give up. And God was like, oh, you thought you were. And then here comes Officer Singleton. And something told him to pause when he gave her that warning. And he just asked, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she said no, and he offered to give her a hug, and she broke down crying. It was that moment that allowed her to further heal. To realize not all police officers are these power hungry idiots that we have seen who do these horrific things. There are police officers with hearts of gold that would treat you the way that you would want to be treated. And that is with decency and respect. That this was a feel good story after two heartbreaking, horrific stories.
Thank you.
I feel like this story was good to end the night.
Yeah. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So this goes to show us that somebody having an attitude may not be, you know, that they just want to have an attitude. You see what I'm saying? This
Mm-hmm.
cop took that attitude and been all ranchy with her. You know what I'm saying? Like so many do. He could have took it, but he didn't. He wanted to get to the bottom of it to find out what was really wrong with her. And that showed that he cared. I love this story for so many different reasons because in that moment, I felt her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I felt this mom that was, she left her family. She was in an abusive relationship. She trying to get herself to clean and together. And she
Mm-hmm.
feels like nothing is going right. She said she just left church. So you left church and you still heavy.
Mm.
In that moment, she needed somebody to tell her it's okay to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a blessing that that cop was there to tell her that. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't brush her off or nothing. He sat there and was very calm with her. Even though she had a nasty attitude, he never raised his voice at all. This is a lesson for all of us to take in. Just
Mm-hmm.
because your day is going bad, don't put your bad day on somebody else. And if somebody else is having a bad day, be that listening ear. Maybe you'll be the person for them in their time of struggle.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva. She left church feeling heavy. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, um, God doesn't answer your prayers right there. Sometimes he waits and see what you're doing so he can guide you on that panel. I mean on that path. Because more than likely she was going 61 into 45. She's lucky he gave her a warning ticket because I think in Georgia it's like $600 if you go over the speed limit. So she was lucky on that. And then, as we said, she was being nasty and rude to him, but he stayed calm and gave her a way to break whatever she had going on. So when she got out there crying, that broke down everything that was in her body to let her know that she's gonna be okay. Because most cops is not gonna hug you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're not gonna do that because they're scared of people saying that they did this, they essayed them, touched her in the wrong way or something like that. That was a guardian angel because he was nice, very nice. Because normally you be nasty to them, they be nasty back to you. But he flipped the script on her and broke her down so she can build herself back up. And we like Wayne said, yeah, we need more of them. They need to train from him because that was a guy with compassion. And still her friend might end up being a boyfriend, who knows? But he showed her some compassion. And for her child, because she was going through a lot, and those addictions are demons. They are
Mm-hmm.
demons. They are bad. They are demons. Only thing they want to do is give me, give me, give me. They don't care how you go to get the money. They just want their fix. So she went to church and whatsoever. And like I say, sometimes God send angels in a different way, and that one was probably is hers. But that's all I got.
Yeah. 48, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a nice story. I think the cop was I'll just be honest, I think the cop was doing his job. Uh he checked her license and she had no warrants, so only thing he could do is give her a ticket. I'm not like discounting what happened, but you know, it's not that I don't like cops. My little brother, my biological brother, is a cop in Austin, so it's not that. It's just, you know, that's all I got.
Yeah, you know, it's hard because most of the stories we see involving cops are nowhere near like this particular interaction, and this could have really went left for this young lady. And as she's saying, she was on her way. She probably said to herself, "Let me go to church and see if I get some relief." And she felt like she left church, couldn't get no relief, and she was on her way to do something bad, and you know, probably relapse or whatever. And instead, she ended up cleaning up her life, got her son back. She looked way different in the after picture with her son than she did that day that the cops pulled her over. She looked good. And I know people that struggle with addiction, and it's a beast. That thing, call your name. There's some people who just can never shake it. And there's some people that, you know, to God be the glory, you know, they get clean and they stay clean. There's some people, they get clean, they're clean for years, and then all of a sudden they have a relapse. So my heart definitely, you know, broke for her in that moment. When I first saw that story, I ain't gonna lie, tear kind of rolled down my eye. It was just a lot. It was emotional. You know, she said, I had to leave my son behind. I left a abusive relationship, struggled with addiction. And that day ended up changing her life. Her prayer was answered. Tay, your thoughts?
First of all, did somebody cut the onion rings when we saw that hug right there? At first, it's take a lot of patience to not lose your cool, your temper for yell at somebody who had a bad day right there. It's take a lot of patience for that right there. I appreciate that call, that police, not to lose his patience, not losing his temper. He just get her a hug, tell her everything is be okay. You don't hear nobody tell you that no more these days. They just like brush it off girl bye. Like that right there. Mm-hmm. And tell her that I'm proud of her to leave that no good ex-boyfriend that she had. Because 1, he's not good. 2, he's toxic. And 3, he don't care about you and your child at all. He just want, give me this, that, and that. I'm the control of this relationship. Okay? You're not. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay. Thank you. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. I appreciate y'all coming through for my late train that pulled out. But y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. I will stay connected to this story with the team to see if, anything comes like they lock this mother up, which I feel they should. And I'm going to stay connected to this David that's saying the story. This thing gets darker and darker by the minute. But if her parents was receiving payments of $10K per month to allow this underage, inappropriate relationship go down, then they need to be locked up too. And like I said, I'll keep you posted. And Diddy went to court today. I'm asking the judge to throw out or overturn the Mann Act that he was found guilty of. And not shocking to me, but the judge is waiting until whenever he's going to answer. But he has to respond before October the 3rd, because October the 3rd is the sentencing. So I got a lot of stories to keep you updated on. I looked again for that Emmanuel Harlow, baby Emmanuel. No updates on that story yet. I looked again about this cheerleader. Nothing. I looked again about that Rebecca Meeks. Nothing. But I will keep you posted, and I'll keep checking in to see if there's any updates with those particular stories. But good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo, choo.
Choo, choo.